All right, so now I'm going to explain the sample problem that I wrote on the module sheet so that you can see it done as well as read through it on the screen. The problem is Caleb is X years old. His sister is 10 years older than he is. If his sister is Y years old, write an equation that relates their two ages. Okay, so we have Caleb, and he's X years old. And we have sister, who is X plus 10 years old. But it tells us in the problem if his sister is Y years old. So really, Y equals X plus 10. And we're going to rewrite that. So this is first. Y equals X plus 10. All right. So now we have to find an equation that relates the two of them together. So we have this thing, if this is sister, okay, this is telling us what sister's age is in relation to Caleb. Okay, and so we can see here's Caleb, here's the difference in the ages, which means that's what the sister is here. So this type of equation, I'm going to write it larger down here, is called a linear equation. And it's called a linear equation because there are two pieces of the equation that relate to each other. And one is called an independent variable and one is called a dependent variable. And so if you think back to when we have done science experiments and the independent variable is the thing that we change on purpose in an experiment and the dependent variable is what happens from that change, that's a similar situation in this equation. So the independent variable is this guy, the X, because depending on what he does, he is going to directly change what happens with that guy. So let's pretend that Caleb is 5 years old. Okay, that's going to affect what sister is. Sister, in this case, would be 15 years old. So then 2 years later, Caleb is now 7 years old. And so it affects sister's age because now she is 17 years old, and so on. So the independent variable is on the inside of the equation, who's kind of in charge. He's making the rules. So here is the independent variable here. And right here, the one on the outside, the one who is being controlled by what's happening on the inside of the equation, is the dependent variable. And we're going to practice some more of this in our group today and in our practice problems. But this is the basis of what a linear equation is.